Apple has unveiled its new streaming service, Apple TV+. The tech giant introduced the new service at its California headquarters earlier today. Apple will produce original content for the platform, and it's expected to bring new competition for existing sites like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. Apple also announced several other updates to its services, including Apple Pay, iNews, and the App Store. CBS News correspondent Jamie Yuccas was at the launch. She joins us now from Cupertino, California. Hi, Jamie. Can you tell us a little more about what was announced at the event today?
Well, Tanya, what's really interesting about the events here at Apple is, generally speaking, it's all about the hardware. So it's about a new iPhone, new iPad, some type of device that is the star of the show. But literally, there were stars of Hollywood here today. Just a short time ago, Tim Cook walked out with Oprah Winfrey and Steven Spielberg. They weren't the only two who were here today either to talk about the original content that they're making specifically for Apple and their new subscription service, Apple TV+. Now, why would they do something like this and try to go up against places like Netflix and Hulu? If you look at the numbers, Apple has 5 times the number of device users of Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Netflix subscribers combined. Even Oprah referenced this fact in the terms of there are 1.4 billion Apple devices in hands all over the world. The majority of them are the iPhone. But she said, quote, "A billion pockets, y'all, a billion pockets," in reference to that amount of devices that are around the world, that she could get her original content into the hands of that many people. That's why she said she specifically signed on, and we continue to hear that from many of the stars today.
Big names indeed. That's a lot of star power you mentioned there earlier. Do we have any indication of how Apple TV Plus will be different from existing streaming services like Netflix and Hulu?
Well, so as you probably know, I know as a Netflix user and using some of these other Amazon Prime, other streaming services, is that they have their own original content. You go into that app. You may go into your cable provider's apps and have all these different places that you can go. As one person described to me, this service now for Apple is really for the 1% of people that have all these different services that want it all in one place. Apple's taking all of this different content. I should say, though, Netflix has said that they will not sign on at this point. But places like HBO, Stars, other applications, cable services, and this Apple content will all be a part of Apple TV. So you can go into one place and have it everywhere. The other thing is that all of your devices, if you have, let's say, an iPad and an iPhone and a Mac, you can actually watch all of your different shows and content on all of those devices. And where one stops, the next one will pick it up. So you don't have to stop and start depending on the device that you're using.
That's a nice sort of streamlining way of watching your shows. I know I get a little confused. Was I watching it on Hulu, Netflix? Where was I? All right. So what kinds of reactions to these announcements are you hearing there in Cupertino today?
Well, I can tell you Tim Cook almost seemed giddy, and he is the cheerleader for the company, right? He usually comes out. There's a lot of fanfare. He's very excited about the new products and such. They announced some updates to their products last week. So really the star of the show today was all these different subscription services, including some magazines, which they pulled up. And what's interesting is that the magazines in their new Apple News Plus service that they're going to be offering in terms of subscription is that when the pictures come up on your iPhone or your iPad, some of them will be live. So there will be movement within the pictures. They're really trying to use the different companies to see what they want to do and how they want to be creative in terms of presenting the news. Tim Cook also went very in depth about how journalism really matters. Different voices matter. They want to get back to somebody like Oprah, he kept saying, was a voice that was missed, as somebody that could bring the world together, be less divisive. Now, one of the other interesting things analysts are talking about is that there were a number of knocks to places like Google and Facebook, with Tim Cook repeating throughout the presentation that your information stays on your Apple device. It doesn't go anywhere else. They kept mentioning how they will not be selling to different advertisers, and it seemed to be a knock to these other tech companies that have done that, where Apple is saying they are going to keep your privacy safe, and that's the reason that you should sign up with them and continue using their products. Even if they're not selling as many iPhones, they're hoping that you continue to use these products for many years to come.
All right, Jamie Yuccas, thank you so much. It sounds exciting if it all works out. Of course, again, like you mentioned, we don't know the pricing yet, so that's a big question mark. Thank you so much.